just imagine the way these people would go to the lengths they do to keep me quiet, or scare me into stopping what I'm doing. Because once I announced we were filming my journey with monsters, things started getting crazy. I mean, from the incendiary device we found to now, this one is really will blow your mind. I mean, I'm sitting here one night about 1:30 in the morning, and I noticed a blue beam had started coming up here. And that blue beam walked all the way across this thing, all the way to the end of this thing, and stopped. Now it stayed there. It stayed there for a few minutes, and I yelled for my daughter to come and look at it, but she didn't. Later on, you hear from my neighbor. He seen these big blue drones flying over just my house. My daughter has told me repeatedly she heard them coming over the house. He said he's seen them coming directly over just this house, no other house. This would go on every night for a good while. And again, the next thing they do will blow you away. Well, once they started finding out that I'm doing this movie, I start getting these messages on Facebook. One comes up saying, keeps messaging me all these different harassment things, and then threatens me basically that they're gonna burn those woods down where I filmed those Bigfoots at. Which I thought was a load of crap, because I said, how are you gonna burn somebody's stuff down when it's a public trail? But they threatened it. Well, then when that didn't work and it didn't scare me, then they send me another message saying, we know your dog, we know how many dogs you have, and if you don't stop and not do this movie, we're gonna come and take those dogs. So again, another what I call BS thing, because they got no right to take my animals, but again, it was just intimidation to try to get me to stop from doing that movie. Well, when that didn't work, then I get a phone call, and like I said, it could be somebody just harassing me, but this phone call was just, what he says makes you believe that somebody was really trying to get to me. I mean, this is what he says. He says, we seed the skies to keep them quiet, and then you keep waking them up. What's it gonna take to shut you up? Now, does that sound like somebody, that does not sound like somebody who is just trying to pick on me and do it for a hoax, That sounds like something, So the guy keeps on, and he calls back again, but this time I don't fool with him. I don't talk to him this time. I just hang up the phone, and we went on and did that movie. And of course, something did happen while we were filming that movie, but the movie still got made. Not long after we had saw the Man in Black out here, and all the other stuff that had been happening, about maybe a week or two after we had seen the Men in Black, though, we're out here, we pull in, me and my daughter pull in, a red car pulls in behind us. Well, the red car parks, it's got two people inside of it. Me and my daughter, we go to the trail, we walk around the trail, good hour and a half we're out here. We come back, those same two people in that red car are still sitting in that car. So I think that's kind of weird. You start thinking they're just out here messing around. They're not, they're not here for us. But then when we crank our car up and start to leave, we notice they crank theirs up and get in behind us. So they proceed to follow us and tell us all the way back to, you know, a good mile to two. Well, I would say no more than that, maybe 3 miles down the road. They followed us all the way from here, all the way back across town before they finally went away. But I wouldn't even think nothing of it, but the fact is they were here, they followed us in here, they followed us out of here, and it's just another means, I think, of intimidation. Think about this for a second. We had just got the Camaro AC fixed on the car. The car was running as good as it ever could have been. And my daughter had just got the AB on a roll, and we were off to celebrate. The car was doing so good, the AC was working, so we was on our way to Greensboro to take her to the mall. Well, we get all the way to Greensboro and something bad happens. Right before we pass this, we pass this interstate bridge, on the side of the road was these black cubes. I saw those black cubes. I saw them as soon as we rode by. They came out, almost as if they were mechanically being operated. They came out, went under the car, and then came back out. And I told my wife, I said, something just went under that car, remember?
Yeah.
And I said, we saw it come out on the road, and then all of a sudden, I'm driving and I start noticing the gauges are going crazy. Oil pressure gauge is going off. I'm losing power. So I get off the road, I get up to where O'Reilly's Auto is, and I pull it in thinking, you know, the belt's done broke. It's done caused the belt to break. Well, then I start looking at it more, and I notice it had broke the AC unit too. And little did I know, you know, a trip to celebrate was going to wind up costing us $700 worth of damages. And it don't, you know, and then it gets worse. I mean, because of what they did to my car, I wind up having to call a tow truck to get the car because it wasn't, I could not fix it in that driveway. So the tow comes and gets the car, but he hasn't enough room in the car for me and my wife and my daughter, so I let them go. I stay there. Well, as I'm waiting, and I've been there about 30 minutes, I notice this guy comes up behind me, says he's going to go pee behind the building. So I said, well, go ahead, there ain't no problem. But then I notice he doesn't go behind the building. He's behind me, following me. And then I noticed again, there's another guy on the side of the road walking between us two. They were about to walk together and jump me. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what can I do? So I start walking toward the road. I'm thinking, if one jumps me, I'm going to throw him in the interstate. If the other one jumps me, I'm going to throw him in the interstate. So it wasn't going to be good for neither one of them if they'd have jumped me. But that just tells you the lengths that these people were going to try to keep us from, you know, getting the word out about what really is going on with Bigfoot and everything else. Well, not long after, you know, all this started happening with the, you know, where we used to live, we started noticing we were getting followed a lot. We were getting stopped for no reason for long periods of time. We even one night got stopped in a license check. The dude checks my license, and I go, and I'm only going up the street 20 minutes. I come back, and he laughs again. They're laughing. They said, we double checked you again, ha ha ha, just to do it on purpose. And you know, you start thinking, is all this stuff connected? And then we move into this place, and we're not living in this place 3 days when I notice that these cops pull up on the side of the road up here, and they get out of their car. They come to each side of my door with their guns drawn. Each one of them had their hands on their guns, and they were, when I opened the door up, they actually put them up like that. And their reasoning for doing it is because they said somebody in this house called 911. And I said, nobody in this house called 911. They said, well, we need to come in and check. I said, no, you don't. We ain't doing nothing wrong. I I said, that's not, and I said, what number called it? They said it was from a from a 919 area code. I said, officer, I said, this is from these, every one of our phones have a 336 area code. So then I had to turn around and give that dude each one of our phone numbers so they could verify them. And then they all of a sudden say, oh, it was a computer glitch. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not a computer glitch. And then, then a few months ago, they showed up. They showed up because somebody was trying to get into this house across the road. And instead, they come over here and all line up around my Camaro, and with their guns drawn around my Camaro. I go back out, and they pull their guns on me, say, sir, get back in your house. And I'm like, I said, you morons, they're right across the road. They're not in my yard. I said, why are you around my car? And it just tells you, you rub the people the wrong way, and I think it goes as higher up as, it could go higher up as the, you just don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to get so far involved in it where it's going to expose, everybody, because, until you know and you got exact facts, you can't prove nothing unless I'm just telling you the way I saw it. I want to talk about why I really believe that the men in black and other people were following us and chasing us. It all started down here at this place. I used to see probably about midways back in here a UFO landing back in here. I've seen it numerous times. I've also seen, over this land, the sky be black and the sky open up and UFOs come out of there. I actually was live on Facebook when that happened one night. I saw 6 UFOs come out over top of this land and form a V shape over it. I also had UFOs back, back over on this side coming out, and I kind of believe that because of that activity and me filming it, we started seeing black helicopters, coming up over here too, and black helicopters coming up over my house. Not only did I see it, but the lady that I was renting from at the time, she was noticing it too. Why would these black helicopters be coming through here? But I think this is probably the reason why I believe that I've got all the attention I've gotten. All right. Trying to see what's out here, and there's a bunch out here. You can't see them with your eyes. You about gotta zoom in because there's so many. They're just coming out peeking to see me. Look at that. I guess they know who I am. They still ain't forgot. That's what I used to do when I was out here. I would come out here and there'd be so many out here that you couldn't stay on just one, but that's cool. I'm trying to see what's out here, and there's a bunch out here. You really can't see them with your eyes. You about gotta zoom in because there's so many. They're just coming out peeking to see me. Look at that. Wow. I guess they know who I am. They still ain't forgot. That's what I used to do when I was out here. I would come out here and there'd be so many out here that, you know, you couldn't stay on just one, but you know, it's cool. Did you stop? Why? I was still doing it.